We will now go live to Hyderabad, where the 8th Global Entrepreneurship Summit is taking place, and currently the first plenary session is on, in which Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and advisor to US President Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, is participating.
And the last thing about Prime Minister's approach again on stand-up. How is it different? How are women entrepreneurs going to be helped with it? India has more than 600 districts, and in each one of the districts, there is at least one commercial bank, a scheduled bank available. Prime Minister's desire was to tell these banks that in every one of the districts, which is 600 or more now, at least one woman should be given money to start her business as a startup entrepreneur, so that innovation at district levels also are recognized, funded, and scaled up. So it is not going to be just a Bangalore, Hyderabad, phenomena. It is going to be across the board, everywhere in the country, in the districts. So there, the women business is happening. One other last thing I would like to say, Indian startups, particularly women-related entrepreneurs, small and medium industries, again with women potential exporters, I had worked up a plan with the International Trade Council, which is a part of the World Bank,
yes,
UN organization. Mm-hmm. The head currently is a lady called Aranza Gonzalez. She's doing a lot of work about bringing together all the women entrepreneurs who are in trading business, in the sense who would want to export globally. And her effort, I wanted to get over to India to make all Indian women entrepreneurs and exporters to come together to search for a global market. So there are provisions, there are platforms through which we can have greater women entrepreneurship being facilitated and promoted. We are at it. We will do it for India. And I'm sure South Africa's experience, United States experience, Swedish experience will all come of help.
You know, what's fascinating is France has moved from the last nation in Europe you'd invest in and not even involved in startups with very little venture capital investment in 2 years to number one. And one of the most basic things they did, they stated as a national goal. They then opened up all of their government to startups and said it's okay for some of these to fail. And then they went to their large businesses and said, you must be a part of this transition. So I think it's lessons learned that we can all apply. One of the most important things, and I talk to probably 40 different startup sessions per month, is the lessons learned about not successes, which everybody wants to write about, but the challenges you faced and how you overcame them. I became a better leader because of a terrible time in 2001 when I went from being viewed as one of the best CEOs in the world to could I run my company during the dot-com bust. I probably developed more as a leader, and our company became a much stronger company because of our setbacks. If I could ask you to share with this audience and entrepreneurs how you overcame not just your successes, because everybody will write about those, but how did you handle the setbacks? And especially for the women entrepreneurs, you will never be a great leader until you get knocked down and you get back up. Could you share your experiences with the audience on that?
Yes, thank you, John. Challenges, they come and challenges, they go. It is how fast and how you react to those challenges that determines your success. When we started this aviation business, we didn't realize that aerospace and aviation is a highly regulated environment. I'm sure those who come from the USA would know that the FAA is very strict, and our Civil Aviation Authority in South Africa conforms to EASA and also the FAA. So you can imagine that those regulations are very stringent. At some point in the company, we didn't manage to renew our licenses because the challenge was that you need to do at least one flight to exercise the rights of your licenses. And at that time, we didn't have enough access to aeroplanes, to infrastructure, to capital, and a whole lot of things that are required to run a successful aviation company. And I remember one day when one of the auditors from the Civil Aviation Authority came to our offices, just took our licenses from the wall and said, you no longer allowed to operate. You know, it was such a huge setback for us as a company because now we couldn't, you know, generate income. Now we couldn't, you know, see through our vision. But as a leader, I needed to communicate to the staff, you know, our vision. I needed to be strong and confident so that the employees could follow me. And I didn't just stop there. I managed to go back, find partnerships, which is very important. You cannot run an organization on your own and expect to run a successful business. You need partnerships. And in aviation, you need partnerships globally, not only in your country. So that's what we went back. We took stock of what was happening in the company and managed to get partnerships, revived our licenses, and managed to get back and operate. Now we are based at Lanseria International Airport, and I can assure you that we fly our customers safely all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. I started off by saying this could be an historic moment. It could be another conference where we talk about gradual improvement, or it could be one where we recognize with all the changes going on around the world, from technology to leadership in common countries to the ability to make dreams come true, how much a difference we could make. As you leave tonight, I'd like for each of you to think what you can do to make a difference this next year. And I'm going to ask for each of the participants to share with the audience a call to action. Very often people don't care because nobody they admire asks them to care. Very often they don't do something because they think they cannot make a difference. Or third, if they do something, they won't see the results. And I'll commit to us that next year at GES, wherever it is in the world, we will share the results on the gender diversity equality that we've done. Marcus, what would be your call to action to the people in this room?
I guess I stick to my gun. So I'll say that if I should challenge the participants here with one thing for next year, is that I really believe that entrepreneurs do really benefit from the support of an individual, a mentor, or somebody who's just helping out. So if I should ask for something from all of you here, is to make a goal to help one entrepreneur during the coming year to really support and make them good.
Madam Minister, your thoughts, the challenge for the people in the room, your call to action.
Well, I think the push has to come from women themselves, irrespective of the field in which they are. But at the same time, for every male and female entrepreneur, there should be a conscious attempt to help one more. And that itself will get a lot of women out. I think women's skills are underestimated by women themselves. They should come out and knock at every opportunity, knock at every door. There are opportunities, and only a sensitive government will have to be responding to it. Today in India, the environment prevails. Globally too, we can see a lot of interest. So women should come forward, and that itself is a major, big step.
Thank you. Mrs. Sambo, your thoughts. What would be the call to action for the people in this room that you would like to challenge them on?
Okay, thank you, John. I would like to challenge first my sisters from Africa. Can I ask all of you to stand? Let them see you. We didn't come all this way to waste time. We came here to network and to do business. You can see them, they are so colorful. So please find partners here. I want to challenge each and every one of you here that make a difference in your businesses, in your corporation, in your corporates, and make sure that you mentor every young girl and young boy. I'm a mother of 2 boys, so I will not encourage only mentoring girls, but also mentoring young boys, because those are our leaders as well. Thank you very much.
Ms. Trump, would you bring us home? Challenge the group and don't hesitate to really push us, especially the men.
First of all, John, thank you. And I do want to say, not only have you moderated this panel beautifully, but you have inspired so many entrepreneurs, and we're grateful to have you here, and thank you for your tremendous contribution to the ecosystem of entrepreneurship in the United States and India and all over the world. In terms of my call to action, I'll echo what was just said about mentorship, because it's so critical and it's something that each of us can do. So our governments should help us lower barriers, create a climate that enables us to be competitive, regulatory relief, tax reform, all the things we discussed, access to capital. But each one of us can find in our communities, in our neighborhoods, another person who could benefit from our knowledge and who we could give knowledge to them, but they can also provide tremendous insight to us as well. One of the things I've really been impacted by wherever I go, whether it's throughout America or anywhere in the world, is the fact that most people will say that the guidance they got, the professional wisdom that somebody imparted upon them, was more valuable to them than even capital in the earliest days, because they avoid.
That was a panel discussion coming to you live from Hyderabad as part of the 8th Global Entrepreneurship Summit that is being hosted by India and the United States together. And the panelists were answering what is their call to action. Ivanka Trump said that it is mentorship, whereas Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who's also participating in the panel discussion, said that women need to believe in themselves and realize their dreams, because the government of India is providing them the right environment to prosper, to innovate and to take to entrepreneurship.